President Donald Trump, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, and the GOP finally got their man, and in doing so retained conservative control of the U.S. Supreme Court. Neil Gorsuch finally gets to don the black robe, and conservatives all across this great land are breathing a huge sigh of relief. Mitch McConnell finally got his victory. All he had to do to get it was simply blow up the U.S. Senate. You see, this is what we refer to as a Pyrrhic victory, a goal achieved at too great a cost. By triggering the nuclear option, Senate Republicans placed the upper chamber on a slippery slope. A slope that will see a once great institution slide into the abyss, and with it, the ability to work across the aisle for the greater public good. We've already seen Vice President Mike Pence issue the first of its kind tiebreaker that allowed Betsy DeVos assume the position of Education Secretary. A cabinet secretary who we saw from her confirmation hearings is woefully inept and unqualified for the position. We've also seen the upper chamber ease the rules that allowed General Mattis assume the top position at the Pentagon, ending a long-held tradition of civilian-military balance towards our U.S. defense posture. All of these instances combined illustrate a deliberate and systematic attempt to erode our great institutions of democratic governance. Now, many will look at this and say this is simply process, and many abhor process. But as George Washington once said to Thomas Jefferson, the Senate is the saucer that cools the very hot tea emanating from the U.S. House of Representatives. You see, in the House of Representatives, we see partisanship at its highest level. We see rhetoric flying across the aisles. And oftentimes, legislation passed in the House of Commons in the lower chamber is impacted as a result of that rhetoric that we see all the time. But in the Senate, where comedy, where bipartisanship, where levity rules the day, with the triggering of the nuclear option, those days are long gone. A thing of the past, in fact. But alas, Republicans have their victory. And make no mistake about it, it's a Pyrrhic victory. A victory that was achieved at too great a cost. A cost that will ultimately have to be paid by John Q. Public.